When people say that you aspire at the age of 30, do you know where that came from? It actually came from, the ancient times when people used to live less longer than people lived now. In fact, right now we've recorded the most years people have lived. People are living like past like their life expectancy of 80 and 90 in some countries. So when people say that we aspire at the age of 30, it's because our ancestors did aspire before the age of 30. Really, they died. Now, they did not die because of poor healthcare. That might be a contributing factor, especially if there is a plague or something until the invention of vaccine. But it wasn't because of poor healthcare. We have our roots, our herbs, which are very, very effective for the sickness in our regions. It wasn't because of food or poverty, because we forage the land, there is abundance in the sea. So it wasn't because of that. Remember, in those days, people used to fight war. There was fear of invasion. There was constant strife. So they lived kind of on the edge, which shortened their life expectancy. The life expectancy was shortened because of a dysregulated nervous system. Now, the nervous system, I would liken it to like a wire, a proper wire, a new wire from the factory does have this insulator, maybe plastic or something they cover it with. Now, when it experiences wear and tear, in this case, grief, toxicity, negative projection, self-abandonment, when it experiences all this, you know what happens? The insulator pops off, it goes off due to wear and tear, and it exposes the conductor, the wire itself, the copper or aluminum, whatever it is that conducts electricity in that wire. It exposes it. This exposure is called frayed ends. Our immune system can be frayed, and once it's frayed, it can easily be triggered into reacting just like that. And when you're triggered constantly, you give room for immunodiseases, things like Graves' disease, Bell palsy, so many autoimmune diseases. It's because of a frayed or a dysregulated immune system. That is the reason why our ancestors did not live long. These traits did not get better, it did not evolve. In fact, due to epigenetics, the trauma of the parents is transferred to the child. So most of us carry that frayed nerves around, which puts us in proximity to a whole lot of diseases when triggered. Our brains too haven't really evolved. There are certain situations or certain things that happen to us, and our brains would think we are in a war, and it goes into survival mode. And being in survival mode leads to burnout, leads to lethargy, leads to death. Yes, that's true. So what I'm talking about is we have to protect our nervous system with everything we have. When you are easily triggered, when there is manipulation, when you're dealing with narcissism, your brain thinks you're dying. Your nervous system becomes under attack. And because we inherit a somewhat weak nervous system from our ancestors, we are prone to diseases. That's why you have cancer. That's why you have Graves' disease, MS, Parkinson's. These are from a dysregulated nervous system. There are some people in life whose only mission is to get a reaction from you, especially a negative reaction. They feed off of negative energy. They feed off of when you are tense. They feed off of when you are in a low vibration, when you are in a bad state. That's how they thrive. They are called narcissists. You find narcissists in your workplace. You find narcissists even within the family structure. Now, if you go and engage a narcissist, they've won. And what happens? Your nervous system becomes dysregulated. You become like a magnet for all kinds of diseases. So it's really not worth it. So the best way to treat people who are narcissistic, because what narcissists do is that they project what they are onto you. Everything they tell you are is most likely what they are. And they look for people like you to dump on, to get that reaction. They thrive on it. They thrive on chaos. So how to avoid those kind of situation is to do the opposite of what you normally do. For me, I used to be quite reactive. I used to want to defend myself from certain things. And you know what happens? Each time I speak, these narcissistic, abusive people, they turn whatever I say around, making me the villain, making me the bad guy. So what I learned to do was the gray stone method. Once they come, I know they are looking to feed, and I don't give it to them. All I say is, okay, once they keep talking, they keep attacking, I start fiddling with things with my hands. I don't make eye contact. I'll say noted. I'll say yes. I'll kind of be in agreement with what they're saying, not giving them any of that energy they want. You understand? If they say they insult you, okay. They say you're a manipulator, or they say you are controlling, or they say all sorts of things about you. You're like, okay. Okay. Now, for some narcissists, this will escalate and they become quite abusive. This method is not for you to fight the narcissist. No, it's for you to protect yourself. Whatever you lose emotionally is way bigger than the reaction you're going to give to them. So don't react. Be like a stone wall. It gets some of them very angry. And the truth is, you shouldn't be with that kind of person who constantly probes you, who constantly, triggers you, because they know your trigger, they watch you. You shouldn't be with them. But for some reason, we are with people like that. Maybe it's not yet time for you to leave. It's not yet time. You've not made plans to leave that situation. To handle this kind of situation is to use the Greystone method. Do not engage. Do not engage. This will piss off the narcissist. Whew. I know that sometimes it takes willpower. Someone like me, I'm quite hot. It takes willpower. So what I do is I either go to the gym or stuff my face in the pillow and just scream out loud to get all that pent up energy away. But I do not give them the satisfaction. I do not give them the satisfaction of an emotional reaction. So when next you want to react to narcissistic abuse, you want to react and give them what they want, think of yourself in the long run, that your reaction will cause you harm. Until you find a way to leave that situation, always use the Greystone method. Don't engage. Stonewall them. Some of them will stomp off, and at some point they will never come again. And if you know that you're going to exit the situation, oh my God, go off. Give it a good curse. Yes, I love to curse people out. Go off. It's so fun to go off. It's so fun to go. It gives joy when you go off at people who have been bullying you, people who have been, dragging you, people who have been stretching you to your limit. It's so fun to go off, but it's not advisable to do it long term. You only go off when you're ready to leave, or when you're ready to completely leave that situation. But in the meantime, the Greystone method is the best method to use. Do not feed their emotions. Don't give them any reaction.